Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the Bionicle Retro Review, and today we're looking at the Exo-Toa, finally the big robo suit for the Toa to use. But before we get into the review, let's start with the set number. Set number is 8557. I don't know why I messed up on that, please forgive me. But yeah, 8557, that's the set number. Piece count 378, retail price was $35. And that's actually a pretty good price for it because I think it is worth it. But that's besides the point. Point is looking at the Exo-Toa. But before we look at the Exo-Toa, we got the instructions. Both of them, that is, because apparently it has two instructions, one for the main model and the other for the combiner model. Not combiner, but alternate model. My mistake. It's an alternate model, which is kind of weird. They have two books for essentially one set. Kind of odd. And just a quick look at the inside of that, you can see the Toa entering in, looking at facing off against the Biowire Queen, which is Kadak. That is still kind of wild how they reverse the names, but anyway, of course, your typical instructions, and then just on the back it just shows you the Toa Nuva. We've seen them. All right, so now let's get into the actual review of the Exo-Toa. I'm going to call it the box order, but no, it is not that. It is the Exo-Toa. So, starting for pros. Pros is that the color scheme is pretty good. You know, the nice silvers and orange and blacks and the grays. I want to talk a little bit more about that in the cons, but still going off the pros. Pros, it still is a good color scheme. It really is. So, I'll give it that for this one. Another pro would be that it actually does have a bit a leg articulation. I mean, it's just kind of at the hips. You can just rotate it up and down so you can make it walk, so it's not just totally stagnant, you know. So it's not totally just sitting there like, what do you do? So it can move. That's pretty good. That's a good. And oh yeah, it can move the arms. So yeah, arms can move up and down. Typical arms. Yeah, you can adjust the cannon as well. So yeah, good articulation. It's not the absolute best, but it does what it does in 2002. It's still pretty good for 2002, I should say. But yeah, another pro would be that they have, I say they, but it has the function, which it has two functions. It can do this with the rubber bands. You just push down right there and you move it. So pretty good function. It's a claw. You just either you can punch something or it can grab something, regardless of how you want to do it. And the second function, it can shoot a little rocket bullet. So let's just, yeah, you saw that directly in front of the face. And let me put that back in. Hopefully I can get it right. Yeah, there. So yeah, so that's pretty good on the pros. And another pro is it's pretty big, actually. It is actually decently sized. So, you know, looking at all angles, it's pretty nice looking on all angles. There's not really an ugly side of it. It's pretty good all around. There's nothing offensive to the eyes. I think it's good. But with that, there are the cons. And the cons go as, well, as I say as follow, but it's just my opinion. So cons are, you know, how I said, you know, the color scheme was fine for the Boxer in the Boxer review, and I was saying, you know, for the Exo-Toa that I was like, it's not like it's a bad color scheme. It's just that they use literally the same color scheme. It's the same color scheme for the Boxer with the Exo-Toa, and I feel like I wanted something else with it. I mean, I don't know what color scheme. I couldn't tell you, but I kind of wish they used something different with it. And I'm like, well, could have done something, but I mean, it's 2002. I mean, you know, it's a big set. It's pretty good, but I just wish they did use a different color. But it's like, it's back to back to the same color. So it's almost like, it's just, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was intentional, but you know, just because it was intentional don't mean I have to like it. You know what I mean? So it's not, and it's like, it's a good color scheme. It's not the greatest. I feel like I'm prattling and just rambling on too long just about just the color scheme, because there's actually bad things about it besides, you know, the color scheme. But yeah, I just really wanted to get that point across. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's just, you know, what are you gonna do? Anyway, another con would be that, you know, that it is very big and tall. It's very wobbly. Like, this thing could really teeter-totter over, and, you know, it's not the greatest stability with the feet. Like, the feet, what is that actually? That looks so wonky. I don't really like how the feet look so gappy. It's very gappy right there. And the foot's like itself, it really flops over. Like what is the point of that? What function does this serve, just flapping over like no one's business? It almost looks like a mouth, and it's so gappy and very hollow looking, and you don't really very strong. And the legs are really, the feet are close together, so it makes it, and the fact that you can't pose the legs really because it don't have knees, and you can't really adjust like the pelvic area. I mean, you're adjusting the hips, not the pelvic and anything else, or the knees or anything. So you can't really put in a super crazy actiony pose. It's very much in the one stance. So not very great. And it, like I said, it wobbles. It's kind of about to fumble over if you're, you know, if it's on any surface. If it's on a carpet, it's probably gonna fall over. It's a flat surface, then you'd be all right. But yeah, it's not good, personally, in my opinion. Another con is I forgot to mention in the pros that you can put a Toa in. I forgot to demonstrate that, but it's gonna go into the cons for me. But I do like the function, but it is a con. I mean, yes, I forgot to mention you can open the thing up and, you know, flip this thing on the back and it opens up, which looks pretty cool. It's, you know, it's very much, it shows that, you know, something can just easily hop in. But what's the problem is putting a random Toa in. I'm just using Tahu as an example because he's the one I have on hand. Putting him in is an actual challenge. Like, I'm struggling to put him in. Like, he's really hard to put in. And the flaps right down there I'm using, yeah, that can only go down when you're putting a Toa in. Like, the feet are down, only can be down when the feet are in. And it is really hard to put them in. Like, it's even harder now since I'm doing it on camera, but, you know, it's really tough. Like, you see me struggling, and it's not easy trying to put them in there and actually make them look right. And his leg just, yeah. You see this. And his head fell off. Great. Like, the headpiece, it fell off. This is why this is a con. This shows that this is not a good function. Like, it looks great when you get it in, and it looks really cool when you get it in, right? Might I add. But my goodness, that is an absolute nightmare to do. Like, seriously. What the heck, Lego? What the heck? Like, that was not a fun experience to put a Toa in there. I almost sat here for 2 minutes just struggling putting them in there. But I really wanted to show the point. I didn't want to skip over or fast forward. I wanted to really show that is not fun to do. That's a really egregious con, in my opinion. I don't, like, whatever else says in their reviews, I think that's a con. It's a pro and a con, but mostly kind of a con because it's really hard to put them in there. You just seen how hard it was to get him in there, right. I mean, yeah, you can slap him in there and then, yeah, I guess he'll be in there, but to get him in right, to have it perfect, it's not easy. It's certainly not fun. It's not something that, I mean, it's not like I'm saying don't do it, because that's kind of the point. So I won't say don't do it, but it's just, if you do it, know that it will be very hard to do it. It's very hard to function it because it's really, really kind of like tight, because It's really the shoulders. Like, if you can move like the shoulders right here out the way, you can get them in perfectly. But with that being right there and like not moving and stiff, that makes that really hard to put any toe in, because especially with the toes that have their broad shoulders out, it's hard to squeeze them in there. It feels like you almost have to break it just to get it in there. So yeah, that's a con. And aside from that, I think that's gonna do it for the review, because like this, it's still a really good set. It's all things considered really good. I mean, I can't say I hate it. I don't. I really like this set. It's one of my favorites, because when I first seen it like years ago, I honestly thought this was a mock, because I was like, this is way too cool for Bionicle to do that. Because I like years ago, I liked Bionicle, but I wasn't like, who am I kidding? I was crazy for Bionicle, but I thought this was like, this feels kind of like maybe too good. Like, I don't know why I thought that. Apparently a set like this was like, this is a mock, someone just made that, because that set doesn't exist. That's not a real set. But I'm like, why would they have so many pictures and images of it, and you see the set a lot of times? But I don't know, I was dumb. I was a dumb kid. But yeah, that's our review for the Exo-Toa. And to finish it off, let me give it a score. What's the score would be? I'll give it a 8.4. Like, it's really good. Like, highly recommend getting it if you don't already have it. It's like, heck, I would say maybe get a couple of these. I know that sounds crazy, but get a couple of them, for then you can have like this whole big group. You can have all the Toas sitting in there. Even though I don't think you could put Bahatu in there. I've never seen anyone ever put Bahatu or Nua in the Exo-Toa. Can they be put in there? I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments, or maybe I'll just try it myself, because I have it right here, but I don't feel like it. Maybe someone could just tell me or show me a picture. I don't know. But anyway, it's a good set. I say get it. I mean, I would say get it used, because it's just $80 or $90 or so. You can find a really good deal on it for it used. So I would say get it used, because brand new, it's like $200 to $300. Not even a joke. And I'm like, it's a good set, but it's not that good of a set. You know what I mean? It just isn't $300 worth of Lego stuff here to justify purchasing it brand new. I don't think you should do that. I just say just get it used. Like I said, just get it used. And I'll say with that, you're good. But that has been my review. Join me next time when I look at one of the, in my fair opinion, the worst of the worst as of so far in my collection of Bionicle. Out of the reviews I've done so far, this has to be the worst set, the Master Builder set. I am not looking forward to that. That's a set that I just do not like, and I wish that set didn't even exist, but I have to do it because it exists. So join me there. But also, if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and follow me on Twitter, because that's where you get all the good updates of my endeavors. And I ask a lot of interesting questions, so follow me there. Link will be in the description. But, alright people, I'll see you all in the next Bionicle Retro review.
On Mata Nui, Island of Legends, the Toa face a powerful enemy, the dreaded Borak swarms. The key to defeating the Borak will be found in their powerful Krana. Join the Toa on the trail of the Borak Va. Their collected Krana hold the key to an ancient mystery. Now they must face their destiny and the might of the Barag. A glimmering exosuit brings hope. Hope that they will have the strength to face these dreaded beasts. But beware of the crushing jaws of the Barag. United, the Toa must capture them, unlock their mystery, and be transformed. Mysterious energies will transform them into a new and more powerful form. Now they are the Toa Nuva, wiser and stronger than ever before. Toa Nuva, 6 heroes, 1 destiny.